I'm a messenger for First Baptist Church, Lindale, Texas. Dr. Moore, first of all, thank you as a pastor who has had to work with many, unfortunately, that have been sexually abused, also within my family, several people. So thank you for your stand on those issues. I want to ask a little bit of a different question, but I think I'd like us to address it before it does become a crisis as well. So I'm truly thankful for how you've spoken with great clarity in the past regarding issues of homosexuality. However, your and the ERLC's endorsement of Living Out Ministries has been anything but clear. Your endorsement stated on the Living Out website that these resources are anchored in biblical conviction. Yet there are resources specifically teach that a same-sex attracted individual is fixed in his orientation, that same-sex couples can be a, quote, healthy environment to nurture children, unquote, and that parents should, quote, have any family rule for teenagers about same-sex boyfriends or girlfriends that they should also apply to opposite-sex ones. Since those resources existed at the time of your endorsement, would you please explain the circumstances that gave rise to your endorsement that enabled you to say that those type of resources are anchored to biblical conviction?
My endorsement was of the ministry of a man by the name of Sam Alberry, who has lived through absolute persecution from his Anglican communion for standing up for the biblical truth that marriage is only between a man and a woman, and that sexual immorality is wrong, and that the gospel is offered to all who will repent and believe of Jesus Christ. Someone who has lived out his life heroically. There were some differences later on in that ministry that caused some parting of the ways, and that's why I endorse Sam. I don't endorse everybody that he's ever met. But your ERLC has been actively working on this issue of homosexuality, not only in terms of moral teaching about what the Bible teaches on sexual morality, but also in terms of preserving and protecting religious liberty for churches who are called bigoted, called hateful, called retrograde, simply for affirming what Jesus has taught to us, that from the beginning he created them male and female, and we will continue to do so.
Thank you for your question. Unfortunately, our time for questions has expired, but Dr. Moore, will you entertain one more question?
It's up to you.
My